Welcome to the Brothers Game Podcast, where we try every new video game, and you probably should too.
Should try it. And
Yeah.
also, my name's Nikolai, and that's Brian.
Hello,
And Brian, how are you?
I'm all right.
We don't have a dumb producer to little rat man to come and interrupt us.
No,
That's
we don't.
unfortunate.
Yeah,
We don't have the funny producer in the back
No.
laughing at our jokes.
yeah. Who talks more than you do, or me,
Yes.
or something?
Well,
yeah.
you're the Jordan, so
Oh yeah, I guess that's true.
the Michael Jordan podcast.
Yeah.
Hey, go listen to Face Jam. Stop our show and go listen to Face Jam.
Oh yeah, sure.
And then,
No.
and then come back and watch the rest
Yeah,
of this
okay.
episode. So, oh, hey, it's the podcast.
Yeah.
Whew, that's a great 45 seconds. Mm-hmm. So there you go.
So we saw Sonic 2.
Oh, we left you on an amazing cliffhanger last
Mm-hmm.
episode, and you went, "What did they think of Sonic 2?" Mm-hmm. Even though we already said it was great in the last one.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah. It was good.
There you go. That's it. That's our review.
So
There it
like,
is. I'm 8 out of 10.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That's pretty
good movie.
pretty accurate, I would say.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was. Are you kidding me?
The rabbits.
I don't know what's up with those rabbits, but I'm about to throw this audio interface in the garbage.
No, we started talking about Sonic, and Cream the rabbit showed up to mess with us.
No, Cream would never do that.
Messed up.
Cream is really nice.
Yeah, that's true. She is. Whatever.
Yeah. So before Sonic and Detective Pikachu, I was pretty
Yes.
sure that there was never going to be a good video game movie.
Yeah, nearly impossible.
I'm like trying to think of even, I mean, I guess there haven't been a ton of them anyway, but like we had, there was a Mortal Kombat movie when I was a kid.
Yeah.
There's
This is a really old Mortal Kombat movie.
I think there was, I don't know if there's been a live action Final Fantasy movie. I think maybe there was one, but it was like
Maybe.
not well known and not
Maybe.
one that anybody really talked about. There was a Warcraft movie that I never watched.
Yeah.
I didn't hear anything good about it, so I didn't really bother.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember. I know I've seen a few, but I've just like buried them deep in
There's
my
like
memory.
an Assassin's Creed movie.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I think
There
there's a
was an
Prince of
Assassin's
Persia
Creed.
movie too.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, I know there was a Prince of Persia movie because that had Jake Gyllenhaal. I don't remember. Did they actually make the Assassin's Creed movie?
Yes.
They did?
Yeah,
Okay.
they did.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
Obviously, I haven't watched that. Yeah. Obviously, why would I watch that?
Yeah.
But
But yeah, I was pretty
And then
sure
Sonic.
there was just never going to be a good video game movie. And then Sonic and Detective Pikachu came out. And I was like, okay,
oh,
they can do it. They
Yeah.
can make a good one.
it's
okay.
possible. Yeah.
So-
I like Detective Pikachu. It's cute. Speaking of, hey, let's mention Pokemon.
Yeah,
With
of course,
Detective
always.
Pikachu.
Detective Pikachu. So
It's cute.
I didn't expect them to get so many things correct.
Yeah.
Like they must have consulted the Pokemon.
I mean, the
company
Pokemon company was heavily involved. Yeah.
on a lot of it because they got too many things right for it for that to not be the case. Because they got stuff right that I wouldn't have expected any movie company to get right. So I was very pleasantly surprised by that, how faithful it was to
Yeah.
Pokemon.
And it was odd and reminiscent of the show,
Yeah.
definitely. Much more than the games or whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Like, I love the first scene where the main guy is trying to catch a Cubone.
Yeah.
I love that. That's
Uh-huh.
great.
Yeah. And then Sonic also. And I love that they
yeah.
actually listened to the feedback
That was a whole thing, man.
and remade totally redesigned Sonic, which I'm sure was a lot of work.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sure. And yeah.
There's people who believe that it was on purpose, that they purposefully made an ugly one to make more news about it.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, we fixed it, but they were going to fix it all along.
Well,
But I don't know. I
Yeah.
kind of doubt that. But,
yeah, I don't know what to think about that,
Whatever.
but yeah.
But the movie itself was also entertaining and nice. And
Yeah.
like Jim Carrey, I think, is great.
Yeah,
as
he was a
Robotnik.
great Robotnik. He was a great choice.
Very silly and just, he's very Jim Carrey about it. Mm-hmm.
But that works for Eggman.
But no, the first one was good.
And then in the second one, we get Tails and Knuckles.
We get Tails and Knuckles. And they turned up the sonicness quite a bit.
Yeah.
Like the amount of references to old Sonic games in this is pretty insane.
And like, I feel like I don't have a lot to go on outside of the Sonic Adventure games and Sonic Heroes, because those are really the only Sonic games I've ever played. I can't really, I don't know how much even dialogue and stuff there even was in the earliest Sonic games.
Not really any.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so I didn't know exactly how true to Knuckles' character that he was in the movie, compared if you think of every time Knuckles has been in any Sonic game.
Right.
But just thinking of Adventure and Adventure 2,
It's very different.
he is different for sure. But I think it works.
Totally works.
Yeah, I was okay with how he was portrayed in the movie.
Kind of like he's got that I'm from another world and take things really literally type of thing, like Drax or from Guardians or Starfire from Teen Titans or whatever.
Or even Thor in the first Thor movie before he
definitely
learned
customs and stuff. Yeah.
No.
But it worked really well. And Idris Elba's voice works really well also.
Yeah, actually.
Definitely different than his adventure voice and stuff. But yeah, I liked the portrayal. And they even made references to like comics and stuff.
Yeah.
With him loving grapes is like a thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a whole thing for Knuckles. Yeah. Yeah, I liked that a lot.
Yeah. And then, so they didn't do this, and I really wish they had, but I just wanted to hear Eggman say, "Get a load of this," just once. He didn't need to say it in the style of the game. He didn't need to repeat it over and over. Yeah. I just wanted to hear him say it just once. Yeah. And I didn't get that, but oh well.
There were no Eggman classic lines or anything, but that's okay. He had the mustache.
Yeah.
So.
And if I had any like, I'm not sure I'd even use the word criticism, but if I had any wishes from the movie that it didn't give me, it would have been more cheesy Eggman lines.
Yeah.
More of just because
and he kind of had his own things going.
Because I don't think it would have been out of place in that movie.
No, I don't think
some
so
of these
either.
lines, at least.
No.
Anyway.
Nope, I can see him. I mean, he said other dumb things, like later hater and stuff like that or whatever. But yeah.
Yeah, and so like Sonic is still kind of a relatively new threat for him now. Like he's like now obsessed with killing Sonic but like Sonic hasn't been a long time recurring annoyance for him.
He's
at this
new
point.
to this world still a little bit,
And so like in the games, Eggman is the old enemy that Sonic has had for a long time, and they know each other really well. And so I think maybe if we get a few more of these movies, that we'll see more of that kind of relationship develop between them. Where
because I'm sure Eggman's not gone.
Yeah, I would be shocked.
He always comes back.
Yeah. And so now's the point where we're getting into.
No, before that, I just want to mention Tails.
Yes.
And her voice. Well, his voice, which is a her. Right. But I love that it was just Tails. Tails is the woman who's played Tails for many years.
Yeah.
And which makes sense because the voice was like perfect. Was very Tails.
Well, and since they're animated characters on screen, they don't have they don't have to worry about
voice actress,
a cast member looking a certain way or anything.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, they went for the big star with Idris Elba, but I'm glad they just went with, instead of just picking some, Anya Taylor-Joy or Millie Bobby Brown or something, like one of these well-known actresses. I like that they kept it straight. I liked that a lot. Yep. Some respect to the voice actress. So, yeah, very cool. But yeah, let's get spoilery.
Okay.
So from now on, maybe let's time ourselves here. We have a timer. Let's go like 2 minutes of spoilers. Okay? From now, go. Spoilers.
All right. So, Supersonic.
Holy crap.
I wasn't even certain they were going to, but they did, and it was great.
And it was perfect.
And he looked great. Yeah.
Yeah. First of all, the Death Egg itself was awesome. It's a classic Eggman robot. And yeah, it was so cool. Right when Knuckles punches the Master Emerald out of Robotnik, and I'm like, oh, Sonic's gonna get that, and he's gonna become Super Sonic. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's totally gonna happen. I'm so excited. And yep, sure enough. Yeah.
And so I wasn't sure if they were going to portray it correctly, like he was actually going to be golden and look like that, but they got it
Totally. Yeah.
And
it was like I'd say it was more like the original games, the original Sonic the Hedgehog games, where the Chaos Emeralds came out. They made like a little ring and went into them. But I mean, yeah, it was just like you could just fly around. He's super powerful. I mean, he's just a god at that point.
And then, since we only have 2 minutes,
okay,
real quick. Shadow the Hedgehog. What?
Shadow the Hedgehog.
I almost couldn't believe it.
Dude, I am shocked also. I thought it was going to be like Metal Sonic or something at the post-credit scene, but nope, they went full Shadow the Hedgehog.
Full weeb. Like the freaking
gosh, man.
I haven't seen
So cool.
I haven't seen any real discussion about the movie yet because I think people are being respectful about spoilers and stuff, but man, there have to be swaths of fans that are freaking out about this.
Freaking out about Shadow the Hedgehog.
Losing their minds.
And so obviously he's going to be a big part of the next movie probably. Yeah. And this movie has done so well that they're absolutely going to make a third one.
Yeah.
So,
okay. And spoilers.
We have ended spoilers.
No more spoilers from now on.
So, it is doing so insanely well at the box office. It is the #1 video game movie of all time.
Yeah.
Already. And it's like opening weekend still.
And I think it deserves that, frankly. It's good enough.
It does. There was a pretty good balance of Sonic stuff to human stuff, I would say.
Yeah,
I definitely preferred the Sonic stuff.
Yeah, there were just like two or three points where I was just like, if this keeps going, it is going to spoil the movie for me a bit. It's going to make the movie worse for me. And then none of those points lasted long enough to be a real problem.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. It was very silly. There was it's definitely sort of a kid's movie.
Yeah, but that's fine because
obviously it's for
Sonic
kids.
was meant to be a kid's game, I think.
Yeah. So, yeah, very cool. It's like, I'm wondering what that means for like the next Sonic games and stuff. If that'll sort of help them be more popular and stuff. But yeah, I know the next Sonic game, which I think is called Frontiers, is like an open world game.
Yeah,
they like did the Breath of the Wild shot.
Oh, nice.
but with Sonic. I'm like, well, of course, that's the thing now. So, yeah. I
guess every game now, Breath of the Wild has apparently become the standard by which all other games are judged.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which I wasn't really expecting, but here we are.
Every review compares it to Breath of the Wild or Dark Souls. Yeah. So every single game in existence.
Which is funny because like I feel like before Dark Souls 2 and 3 and Bloodborne and stuff, that Dark Souls was not super popular.
No, definitely not.
By the time I started hearing people talk about Dark Souls on the regular, it was an old game already.
Yes, definitely. And it was just one of those, it was sort of niche.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, when it came out, I think I occasionally heard someone be like, "Oh yeah, Dark Souls," and it had gained a reputation of being a hard game, but that was kind of it. And really, unless you were in that scene of playing hard games, you probably didn't care. Yeah,
I think Bloodborne sort of started to put it on the map.
Yeah,
because that was the one PS4 game for a long time.
Yeah,
one of my favorite memes is like, "I've been through the desert on a horse with one game." And it's like a cowboy and his horse is a PS4 and he's holding Bloodborne.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yep, there you go. So that's a whole thing. And then, Dark Souls 3, everyone was like, okay, yeah. But now Elden Ring is really what's made it fully mainstream.
Right.
Because it was already starting to get referenced a lot more. But then Elden Ring has just pushed it, past that. Now it's everywhere. I'd still like to play Elden Ring, I think.
Yeah, I want to as well.
And which is nice because it's on PS4 still. And I don't know. I'd have to find time to really do that though. Definitely a time sink of a game.
Yeah.
But yeah. What ones have you played. What Dark Souls have you even played? Just one, right?
I think just one. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think I've even tried to, or yeah.
Yeah, I've played some of Bloodborne, but I really like to play that some more too.
Yeah.
I might play that before Elden Ring too,
Yeah.
to like get to know the systems better and stuff. But yeah, I've watched multiple full playthroughs of Bloodborne, so I kind of know it pretty well.
Yeah.
But
I own all of those games
Yeah.
except Elden Ring.
I own a lot of them too. But yeah, it's just one of those things. So time heavy,
Yeah.
and I'm busy playing really, really old games that I've already played before.
Yeah. Same here.
I'm way too busy.
That's what we do.
That's what we do.
New game? Nah.
nah.
Old game we've played 1,000 times?
So I've been playing Banjo-Kazooie. Because it's been a long time, and they have it on the Switch Online thing. And man, I forgot how good that game is. Man, it's such a good game.
Yeah.
It is one of the best platformers of all time. I think it rivals Mario 64,
Wow.
in my opinion.
Wow.
It is so dang good. It is in the top 3 N64 games, definitely.
Yeah.
Up there with probably Paper Mario and Mario 64. It's like there's a lot of old games that are platformers. You got Glover, you got all these kind of weird platformers, Bugsy, you got
Yeah.
Crash Bandicoot and all that. Banjo feels so much more purposeful than those games, and like such better controls and like well thought out abilities, like these different ways to attack and run and stuff that don't feel like it's just a feeling
Yeah.
that this game has that other games don't have, that everything feels purposeful and like has some care put into it.
It's funny. Banjo-Kazooie, I think, was from an era
Yeah.
of silly, goofy
So very silly.
platformers with like and like kind of a really colorful aesthetic.
It's whimsical.
Whimsical,
definitely.
yeah.
Whimsical. Yeah.
Like there were a bunch of games like that. Like
Definitely.
several Spyro games are like that. Crash Bandicoot, as you mentioned.
It's that whole era.
Yeah.
Original PlayStation, Dreamcast.
I know I've played a few that I'm struggling to remember.
I would say even
the
Sonic
names of.
Adventure is similar.
Yeah,
a little
kind
bit.
of.
It's got the colorfulness and everything, and the ridiculous shininess.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in Banjo, the fact everything has a name and has eyes and can talk. I
Yeah.
love that. It is so cartoony,
Yeah.
but it does it well, and it does it with
yeah.
heart, which is just different than I feel like a lot of games.
Struggling to remember. I know there's a couple of games like that I played.
Yeah.
Personally played, not just watched someone else play, and can't remember
Donkey
which
Kong
one.
64 is very similar.
Yeah, because I didn't play Donkey Kong 64 ever.
Oh, yeah?
So yeah,
It's not good.
Yeah.
It's like Donkey Kong 64 is like if Banjo was bad,
yeah.
in my opinion.
Like the one I played was Duck Dodgers.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that game ruled.
Which, yeah, we've mentioned that one before on here, but yeah. Yeah.
Classic.
But yeah, games like that.
Yeah. So, I will say it's also an easy game.
Yeah.
I think it's much easier than Mario 64. Like easier to 100%.
Yeah.
It's one of those games where it's like if you look everywhere in a level, you'll find everything. If you're
Okay.
diligent with it, and if you learn the mechanics well, you can get anywhere. The levels are very fun to explore.
Yeah.
They're big enough to where there's a bunch of little spots you can go to, but they're not so big you get lost, basically. The hub world, Grunty's Lair, can be a bit confusing. So I haven't played it in so long, I forget where a lot of stuff is and
Yeah.
stuff. But yeah, I just finished Mad Monster Mansion, which is one of the best levels in the game. Very fun, like haunted mansion type of thing.
Yeah.
The next level, I only have 2 levels left in the game. I think there's 9 levels total. So I have to do not Clankers, but Rusty Bucket Bay, which is the hardest level in the game.
Clankers.
Yeah, Clanker's Cavern is the 3rd level. That's a great level. And then and one of my favorite levels is the last one, Click Clock Wood, which is, that one's really interesting because there's there's a season. It's seasonal, and so there's an entrance for each season, but it's the same level. It's just in a different season. And so you like go to spring and you plant a flower, and then you have to go to summer and water it, and you have to go to fall and water it again, and then get the jiggy that's on top, basically. One of those kind of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say there's one hard part about that game. And so then one of the main collectibles is the notes. They're little musical notes, and there's 100 on each level, and they're not 100% necessary to complete the game.
Right.
But if you want 100% it and everything, you want to get them all. And it's nice that there's exactly 100 in each level. But if you get like 50 or whatever and then die, you start at the beginning and you don't have any notes.
Oh, wow.
So,
Wow.
now jiggies, which are like the stars, like they're the big get, there's 10 in each level. And if you get those and die, you keep those.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, the notes are the nightmare. Even if you leave the level and come back, your notes are gone. So you have to get all 100 before you do anything else. That can be a bit tough. They actually changed that in the Xbox remake.
Oh.
On Xbox 360, they have a thing called Retro Replay that has like a bunch of old rare games and stuff and Sega games.
Okay.
And in that, they actually changed it so that you just keep your notes no matter what.
Nice.
So, but anyway, that has been super fun. So I think I'll finish that soon.
Nice.
And controls are good on the Switch, by the way. I've had no issues with that.
Nice. Good.
Playing it on there. I have the wireless N64 controller for the Switch Online, but I don't actually use it for for playing N64 games. If I wanted to play it on an N64 controller, I would just play it on my N64 that I have.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's kind of my thought on it. But anyway,
So basically,
that's
that was
been
a
very
waste
fun.
of money.
No, it's super cool. I want it just as a collector's item, even. Now, I'll use it for some games for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, that's really fun.
What else are you playing?
I've been playing other stuff too. I'm playing a lot of games off and on a little bit.
Oh, you tweeted about this. You totally just restarted Animal Crossing.
Yes, exactly. I was definitely going to mention that. Yeah, I had an island for 2 years, probably since the game came out.
Right.
Had about 500 hours in Animal Crossing on this island. But it had been a few months since I'd played. I was just kind of like, I wasn't 100% done with it. Right. I did have, every fish and every bug type and everything like that. But I was kind of burnt out on it. Yeah. And there was obviously stuff I wanted to do on my island kind of still. But it felt like a stopping point a little bit. And because it had then been months since I played it again, I was like, but I was kind of getting the itch to play Animal Crossing a little bit. I was like, I think it would just be better to start fresh.
Yeah.
But I waited a few days and really thought about that because that's 500 hours gone completely. But I was like, nope, I'm moving on in life and I should move on in this too, basically. It's kind of a cathartic, deep decision. Yeah. Restarting Animal Crossing. Yeah. It's kind of ridiculous, actually. I mean, it's, you build fake relationships with these animals and stuff, So yeah, I did it. I did it completely. Got rid of it.
I've thought about how if the memory card for my GameCube ever dies.
Yeah.
That thing is over 15 years old. Man. I probably got it in 05, 06. Yeah. Somewhere around there.
Yeah.
It has
it has Razor.
All of it. Yeah. It has well over probably 1,000 hours of work just put into mainly two games.
Yeah.
PSO and Sonic Adventure 2 Battle.
Sonic 2 Battle.
It has all my Chaos Chow. Yeah. It has,
Gosh, and like, so sad.
If I ever lost those characters, there's no way I'm ever going to get that high a level in PSO ever again. I'm not going to have that kind of time or that kind of willpower to get that far in the game ever again.
Yeah, I mean, that day probably will come.
Mm-hmm.
Those things do not last forever.
Yeah, and it's pretty surprising because
It's amazing
of,
it's lasted this long.
yeah, because they are pretty notorious for dying. Like, especially the certain ones of them. Like the black Nintendo branded like 250.
Yeah, that's the good
one or whatever. That those ones tended to be the most reliable anyway, and that's what that one is. So,
yeah, I have the white one with more capacity. It's the it's the biggest
like
one
1,000
Nintendo made,
something.
and it's worked for a long time. But I don't know. I don't know how long.
Well, and like
it's not my original. My original is dead.
Yeah.
So,
and like now, even if you buy a used one, like it's got age and wear on it. So like,
yep. I mean, I bet you could buy one brand new.
Yeah.
I wonder how much a brand new Nintendo one would be.
Probably a lot.
Maybe not though.
Oh, I saw.
You should look.
A new in-box GameCube controller was like $200 plus dollars.
That's a controller though.
Right,
but
like,
because of Melee. That's why.
Oh yeah, I guess
that's why
true.
it's expensive.
I guess
purely because of Melee.
Yeah,
guarantee it.
No, you're right.
Yeah, I think a memory card could be less.
Yeah.
I'm very curious.
Well, I didn't think it was going to be $200, but I feel like it might be like
that's very
quite a bit more than it was new.
Very possible
back in the day. So.
But yeah, controller modding for Melee has ruined the reselling of and buying of GameCube controllers.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah, definitely. Anyway, very interesting. Where was I? Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I wanted to commit to this island a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I looked at, first of all of the starting villagers you can get. Mm-hmm. Because when you start the game, you always have 2 starting villagers. And it's very specific, the 2 types of villagers you can get.
Yeah.
So I looked at which ones I'd want the most.
Mm-hmm.
There's obviously the layout of your island,
mm-hmm.
which there's 4 to choose from when you start the game. There's your starting fruit. There's starting clothing even.
Yeah.
Things like that. And so I re-rolled many times.
Yeah.
So you can start the game, set it up, set everything up, choose a layout, and then you get to your island and see what 2 villagers you get.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would close the game and restart. So that took a few hours probably.
Wow.
I didn't log how many times I did it. I'm going to guess at least 30.
Oh, geez.
Quite a bit. Because I was not getting the villagers I wanted.
Wow.
There was one, I want to get a bunch of cats. Because I didn't really have any cat villagers.
Yeah.
And most of them are great.
Yeah.
So there's 2 different cats you could start with. They're both jock type. There's one called Kid Cat, who wears like a Power Rangers outfit, and he's very silly. And there's one called Rudy, who's very cute also. And I was actually going for Rudy. Did not see him once. Every time I restarted.
Wow.
But I did get, in the one I landed on, I got a villager named Cherry, who is a like goth punk rock dog girl, who's really cool. And she's the big sister personality, which I really like. They're very cool. And so that was one of my top ones. So that was cool. Yeah. The other one, my second villager, didn't really care for. It's a monkey. I don't typically like the monkey ones.
Yeah.
They're too monkey-ish. They would steal my sauce. But this island that had Cherry, the layout was amazing. Yeah. One of the coolest layouts I've seen. And I had certain ideas of how I wanted like a neighborhood set up. I want to do like this kind of ring around a pond of houses. The starting fruit was a cherry, which is one of the coolest, weirdest ones you can start with. I don't know if there's actually rarities to these, but I feel like cherries are the rarest. I don't know if that's actually true. I want to look that up. Yeah. So basically everything was perfect about the starting island except for one of the villagers. And I'm like, that's the best I'm going to get, I think.
Yeah.
So I did settle on this one. I called it Evanbrook, which is actually a town in D&D that I made.
Oh, nice.
But I named it that. Yeah, it's been going good. Because I have a lot more knowledge going into it. I'm progressing a lot faster.
Right.
I'm on day 3 today, or day 4. No, it's day 4. And my museum is fully built. I have the shop fully open, and I just got the okay to build plots for more houses for more villagers. And so last night I took a bunch of Nook Miles tickets, and I went to Mystery Islands, which are a thing,
Right.
and that's how you can recruit villagers to your island. And you can be very picky about it that way.
Yeah.
And so I was looking for cats, obviously, was the main thing. And so I spent last night, I probably spent 25 tickets, which is a lot of Nook Miles,
Yeah.
which is very expensive. But I got some really sweet villagers.
Cool.
One of them was called Sherb, who's a little blue goat who's lazy, and he is super cool, super chill. I got one cat. Her name's Felicity. She is a peppy type and absolutely adorable. Very happy to get her. And then I got Fauna, who is this super cute deer character, who's probably the best normal type personality there is. So very happy to have her. Yeah, super, super cool. So I've got a pretty stacked set of villagers so far.
Yeah.
I need to find more cats, definitely. But there's one called Bob I really want. He's a purple cat who's lazy. He's like, his eyes are always like half open. He always looks smug a little bit.
Nice.
Bob's great. I really want Bob. So yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Cool.
But it's been very fun. Definitely having fun with Animal Crossing again for the first time in a long time. Yeah, it's very, very nice. How's your Animal Crossing going?
Haven't played it in. I played it for like a week or so after I got it, and then never again. So.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah. If you want to see pictures of my Animal Crossing stuff, I am posting on Twitter. So go check that if you're interested.
Yeah. So what else you playing?
What else am I playing? Gosh, man, I don't know. How about Kirby in the Forgotten Land, Brian?
Yeah.
Kirby, booyah! This Kirby game is amazing. Have you played Kirby like at all besides Kirby 64?
No. Kirby 64, Kirby Air Ride. That's it.
Yeah. Wow, that's interesting. So this is the first 3D Kirby game besides Air Ride, I guess.
Yeah.
This is the first, platforming 3D Kirby game.
Yeah.
Which is kind of insane to think about how long Kirby's been out and hasn't had a 3D game. Yeah. It translated perfectly.
Yeah.
It's like, this is the Ocarina of Time of Kirby games.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, the level design is insanely good. Very fun little, it's Kirby, so it's not particularly difficult. It's kind of a thing about Kirby games that they're not hard, especially recent Kirby games.
Yeah.
One of the coolest things is upgrading powers, copy abilities. Basically, as you progress, you can find blueprints, sort of. And you take them back to this Waddle Dee, and he'll like mess with your fire ability and make it the volcano ability instead. And so every copy ability has, I think, 3 levels that you can level up to, and they get insane, like insanely strong, way too strong in some ways. So that's been really cool. And there's some good new copy abilities too.
Yeah. I was watching somebody play it, and they were just like, I thought Kirby games were supposed to be like for children, and I'm like dying here. What's going on?
Nice.
Why?
Do you know what they were playing? Where they were?
No, I don't know what level they were on or anything.
Yeah, I mean, it might get harder later too, but I'm taking it super slow. I'm only in like world 3, which is a very good world. But and it's really cool because you're in like a alternate world where it's like a dystopian city, basically. Like in the first world, one level's like a mall that's all overgrown and abandoned.
It's not Coconut Mall.
No, but it is very similar. It did feel like I got coconut mauled. Yeah, I really, really enjoyed the direction they went with it. There's a cool new blunderbuss ability. So
Nice.
Kirby gets a gun,
Yeah.
but it's a blunderbuss, so it's cute and fun. And it goes pew. No, it's awesome. I need to pick that back up again a little bit. I've been switching between that and Banjo basically.
Oh yeah.
For platformers. And then the Animal Crossing is the quick day-to-day stuff.
Yeah.
But speaking of day-to-day, he's in Kirby.
Day.
Day-to-day, DDD.
DDD.
Kirby 64 is going to come out very soon, actually, on the Switch Online thing.
Oh, cool.
That'd be fun to play again, because that is obviously a great game.
Actually, let my Switch Online lapse because
Yeah.
I'm not really using
Understandable.
it at the moment.
Yeah. But the other game I'm reluctantly playing. I'm still playing Shining Pearl a little bit.
Just to get it over with.
Yeah, I just got through Victory Road. So
okay.
the cave part.
Yeah.
And all my Pokemon are like 70 or just under 70.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So
Elite Four should be
good.
pretty easy for
I think
you.
I'll be good. Yeah, I'm just going to get through it all because I do want to get... Basically, I have a goal for Shining Pearl. I want to shiny hunt Arceus. Because, I mean, that's just the ultimate shiny to get, right?
Yeah.
Is Arceus. And I saved my Master Ball. I caught Palkia without a Master Ball, which was definitely annoying, but it did happen. Anyway, I won't talk about Pokemon too much.
Yeah.
Even though this is the Pokemon podcast.
Right.
But yeah, I'm going to try to shiny hunt Arceus. I know it's so hard because I've seen a lot of posts on Twitter and stuff of people finding it, sub 1,000 tries, which is really good.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I got Arceus in
Yeah,
596
you tried like
tries.
3,000 times to
Over
get
3,000
shiny
for
Rowlet.
shiny Rowlet, yeah. Technically, it is a 1 in 4,000 chance for Arceus. 4,096, I think.
Oh, yeah.
But because of the whole bit thing, But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I see most people get it like 1,500 or less. So I don't know. I'm optimistic about it. And it's nice to know that you have a Master Ball. So if you do find it, you will get it 100%. Yeah. That helps a lot. Because I watched a tragic video of a girl who got shiny Arceus and went through like 50 Ultra Balls, and Arceus ran out of PP, started using Struggle, which has recoil, I think.
Yeah, it does.
Recoil,
and it always has.
That happens so rare to me, I didn't even remember that.
Yeah.
And yeah, Arceus literally struggled himself to death,
Yeah.
and she lost shiny Arceus. So, yeah, that will not happen to me.
Yes,
yeah.
I've been in Pokemon fights where struggle was used. They are not fun because it just means the fight has taken a very long time.
Terrible. Yeah, that happens very rarely to me. So, so yeah, that's mostly what I've been playing. I think that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a thing for sure. I've been watching videos too. Can you imagine?
Wow.
You watch videos too, right?
Yeah. I also
cool.
try to show you sometimes, and then you won't watch them.
Yeah, and I go,
but you watch so many other videos. Why won't you watch the ones I show you? I promise they're good.
what are you looking at?
I'm looking at your mic.
Oh,
It's got all like little metal bits and stuff. It's cool.
it does. It looks very like industrial. It's got that cool shock. It's got the shock absorber thing.
Yeah.
So it's got pulleys and so I can go. Did you hear that? Maybe not. Who knows?
You won't know because
I won't
you
know.
don't edit this.
I don't know. I was thinking I should listen to the podcast
Yeah.
just to remember what I said.
I listen to a lot, but that's just to remember what we've said.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna listen through it just to have a better idea of what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I watched a I've mentioned before, I'm a Rooster Teeth fan.
Yeah.
I just watched a pretty fun Let's Play series that the two guys who host the Red Web podcast, Trevor and Alfredo, they played through the new Five Nights at Freddy's game, which isn't that new now. I think it might be over a year old now.
Yeah.
But it is the most recent one. It's called Security Breach. Do you remember? Did you watch Five Nights stuff at all?
Yeah.
We did, right?
We,
back in the day.
together with you, yeah.
When it
We
was sorta
watched
new.
a bunch of Markiplier ones, yeah.
Because I always kind of liked the games. I always thought the lore was really interesting.
Yeah.
That's mostly why I liked it. And this game is like so different. It's like a real game.
Oh, huh.
You're in the Freddy Fazbear Pizzaplex, I think it's called. And it's like a massive, it's like Disneyland. You know,
Oh, wow.
But indoors. It's massive. So it's like, here's the main hall, but then there's the Roxy's Raceways over here, and the bowling alleys over here, and the arcades over here.
Yeah.
And it's like an actual first person. You're like walking around like a person. You play as like a little kid who gets trapped in there overnight, basically. And he's trying to just survive through the night. And the most interesting thing is that Freddy is good in this. Freddy is like the friendly animatronic, and there's parts where you can actually go into him and play as Freddy to like protect yourself from the other animatronics. That part's kind of interesting. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
That there's a good animatronic, basically. I think maybe there's like a way you can play where he maybe turns on you at some point, but I don't know. That's the whole thing. There's a lot of actually branching stories in it, which is kind of cool. There's like 5 different endings, I think.
Yeah.
That all have different things. I think the most interesting part is that you can basically kill the other animatronics.
Oh, really?
There's basically quest lines where you can there's like whole cutscenes and everything. Like there's one for Chica, who's been in there since the first game, the chicken girl, you know?
Yeah.
And she loves pizza. So what you can do eventually is like put this pizza thing in a trash compactor and you lure her there, and then you turn on the trash compactor.
Wow.
And it like does this whole cutscene of her like trying to escape and gets crushed. And it's like really gruesome, but it's an animatronic, so it's fine, I guess. And there's no blood. But it's messed up. And then you can steal her voice box and give it to Freddy as like an upgrade. It's a whole thing. And you can do that for all the animatronics, but there's a whole thing where they're not actually dead. They can sort of still find you, but they're like zombie animatronic, which is actually scarier. And one of them, Roxy, you hit her with a car and you take her eyes and you like give them to Freddy as an upgrade, but then she can still find you, but she's blind. And so she just runs in random directions and she's crying the rest of the game.
Wow.
Because you stole her eyes.
Wow.
And I'm like, dude, this is messed up. This is a psychological game.
Yeah.
It's like one of those things where you're the hero, but you start to feel like the villain a little bit. You're like feeling bad for the animatronics. Anyway, I like that. I just finished their playthrough last night, and they got, which is hilarious, they got the worst ending you can possibly get, which is where everything is bad in the end, basically.
Oh.
You escape, sort of, and then more kids keep disappearing, and then you get killed anyway, and it's like a whole thing.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, so that was fun, and that made me kind of want to go and watch some lore videos about that, because there is just videos about that. I might just do that to learn the other endings and stuff.
Yeah.
Because I never actually loved playing the games. In general, I'm not actually a horror game fan.
Right.
But the lore was interesting enough that I kind of got into it.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. They're actually all on the Switch now. There's a collection. Yeah. Which I'm like, thought about. Yeah, no, don't care. Don't care, I don't think. But anyway, there you go.
There you go.
And it's great because then I have something to talk to the kids at church about.
Yeah.
That's what kids are into.
Yeah.
They love that stuff.
Oh, that's funny.
It's absolutely like aimed at children,
Yeah.
which is kind of not okay in my opinion. But
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah. And Minecraft. I know some about Minecraft, and that's helpful when
Yes.
talking to a child.
For sure.
Yeah. It was funny on Sunday I mentioned Sonic 2 that I went and saw it, and everyone freaked out. Everyone was asking me questions and like
Nice.
I'm like, nice. I'm cool.
Yeah, I can't believe the kind of staying power that Minecraft has had.
Oh my gosh.
I don't.
I know.
I can't believe a game has been this relevant this long.
Seriously.
But I guess I don't know. The last 10 years of gaming have been weird.
Yeah. So different.
The way some of these games have persevered, like Skyrim.
Oh yeah.
Like the fact that like not too long ago I heard of people playing Skyrim like almost as if it was a new game that had just come out. And I was like,
Yeah.
but no, this is an old game that I played this game like 7 or 8 years ago. Like
Yeah.
what?
And that's probably going to happen on this podcast when I play it.
Oh right. You've never played it, have you?
Never. I've
God.
never played Skyrim.
Oh man.
And I love open world adventure games like that.
Wow.
I love Fable and Breath of the Wild and games like
I've
that.
never played any other Elder Scrolls game.
Me either.
Just Skyrim.
Me either. That's part of why I just
Yeah.
have never played an Elder Scrolls game. I have it. I have I have like a legendary edition on PS4 or whatever, which I'm sure is much better than when it launched.
Yeah, because I played it at launch and boy, it was buggy.
Yeah. So you know what? I'm gonna play that someday.
Someday.
That's
Just like my stack of PS4 games
that's in
that
the
I'm going to play
backlog.
someday.
That's in the backlog. That's for sure.
I really want to play Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah, I do.
have
I
that.
do too.
And yeah.
That looks great. That looks like a actually decent Star Wars game experience,
Yeah.
as opposed to like the new Battlefront games and stuff. Yeah, and it's got that kid in it,
Yeah.
that actor. You know, plays the main guy.
Yeah.
He was like the Joker.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in Gotham.
Yeah. We mentioned all that in an earlier episode.
Did
of
we
this
really?
podcast. Yes, we did.
This is why I needed to listen to the podcast.
Yeah. Every once in a while, I'll be listening to one of our older episodes and we'll be talking about something. I'm like, oh, yeah, that happened.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, this thing we're talking about, it happened.
Yeah.
Oh, so speaking along those lines, you said you talked about a rumor that I'm guessing didn't happen.
Okay.
But
Let's see an update.
of bringing some of the 3DS Pokemon games to Switch. Did you
Man.
ever hear any news about that? Maybe, possibly ever being a thing.
A rumor I begged and pleaded to be true, because I'd love to replay like X and Y or something on the Switch. Anything has come from that.
Okay.
I highly doubt that's ever going to happen, unfortunately. Yeah, I feel like they would have mentioned it by now.
Yeah.
I know obviously there's Scarlet and Violet. No other news has come out about that yet.
Right. By the way, Grass Kitty starter. Best
Grass
starter
Kitty.
ever.
Very
But
cute.
one of the best.
Very cute. I actually really like the designs of all three.
Yeah.
You know what I've decided on, the Flucoco, I think is his name. The fire guy.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Who looks like a little,
Well, it's funny because you tend to
I never
shy away
pick
from the fire starters.
I rarely pick the fire starter. He is, first of all, adorable. I love his sort of, I don't know, his roundness.
Yeah.
He looks like a little hippo guy. He's based off of like a chili pepper, kind of, which I think is adorable. He reminds me a little of Totodile.
Yeah.
That's part of why I'm picking him, I think. It will a little bit depend on his typing
Yeah.
at the very end. A lot of people are thinking he could be a dragon, which I think would be amazing. Obviously, that'd be super cool. He could be maybe ground type or something like that. Obviously, if he's fighting, I might not pick him.
Yeah.
Literally just from
you
that.
and your anti-fighting types,
I will never
man.
be, especially firefighting.
Yeah.
Especially firefighting. Yeah, I will probably not pick him if he's firefighting.
No.
But hopefully they won't do that because they've done that quite a bit.
Yeah.
So But yeah, I like him a lot. I think he's adorable. You know what he looks like? He looks like one of the Bubble Bobble monsters.
Oh yeah,
You remember that game at all?
yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I think he totally looks like those, and I love that. So, yeah, he's super cute. But there is actually a Nintendo rumor that just came out that you actually reminded me because you mentioned that.
What were the
What are you
names
looking at
of the
here?
2 new versions again?
Scarlet and Violet.
Scarlet, that's right.
Yes.
Scarlet and Violet. I wanted to just look up the starters again.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I have a picture.
Oh
here,
right,
too.
the water one is a duck.
Yeah, he's called like Ducklet or something. No, that's a different Pokemon.
Quaxley?
Quaxley. Yes, that's right. When the fire one's Fuecoco?
Yeah.
Right?
Fuecoco. And Sprigatito.
Sprigatito. Yeah.
Sprigatito.
Very like Italian sounding.
So,
Yeah. I mean, they're all really cute. I like them a lot.
so, like, obviously, we haven't seen their final stages yet, but
Right, and that'll change things a little bit.
this might be the first time I pick a grass starter. From
Yeah,
the
I mean that is an
beginning,
adorable cat. Absolutely.
because I just love that design.
Yeah. But look at Fuecoco. Look at that guy. He looks like he kind of reminds me of like a Yoshi's Island enemy or something.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I
Totally.
just love that. He's just like blah. So
Yeah,
we'll see when their other evolutions come out. But
Well, I mean, if you don't like the typing, you could always do what you do with Rowlet and just keep him that.
yeah, it's true.
Forever.
Absolutely true. Yeah, it's great. That rumor that I mentioned. So basically, it came out that Bandai Namco has been hired by Nintendo to work on a remaster / remake of a 3D adventure game. That is what we know, which I think is a fact.
Okay, interesting.
Obviously that could be a million different games, but because it's Bandai Namco, people have
Right.
narrowed it down a little bit. The number one rumor or guess people are doing is Kid Icarus Uprising, the 3DS game. It was one of the maybe launch titles for 3DS. I don't think it was launched, but very early in the 3DS's life.
Yeah.
That game, the term cult following is an understatement.
Really?
Many people consider it to be one of the best 3D games of all time.
Wow.
And I'm like, I did not know people loved that game so much. I've never played it, obviously. People freaking love that game.
Yeah.
And people say, if you haven't played it, what are you doing with your life, basically? I did not know it had that strong of a admiration.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks cool. I mean, people say it's very basically groundbreaking
Yeah.
in story and gameplay and all that.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, maybe I should try it. I should probably play that. So if it is that, I'll probably get it and play it. People making a lot of joke answers, like Pac-Man World 4 is a big one that
Yeah.
people are thinking. I have no idea. I don't know if it's because it's Bandai. I don't know if it's gonna have to be something they've worked on in the past, or it's just something random that they've never worked on. Some people are thinking maybe Metroid Prime remakes.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Possible. That'd be super cool.
Yeah.
I love Metroid Prime 1 and 2 especially. So yeah, I don't know. Very interesting.
It's interesting because, like, maybe it would now if I went back and played it, but when I think back to Metroid Prime, I don't remember it feeling like an old game.
No, I think it still looks great. It's one of the best looking GameCube games. Yeah, when I replayed it about 3 years ago, probably at this point, I replayed the Wii trilogy versions, and they looked good. It's
Yeah.
a very good looking game for the time, I think. So I don't know. I mean, it could be insanely gorgeous now. So if they used Unreal 4 or something. So although I don't know if the Switch could handle that. So
When people talk about like a animated movie or something, they'll often say like, "Oh, this deserves a live action remake." Which
yeah,
every time I hear that, I'm like, "Why would you
Disgusting,
ruin
yeah.
this?" Because like we finally gotten a few decent video game movies.
Yes.
Obviously, we've had decent novel-based movies in the past.
Some bad
Obviously,
ones.
plenty of bad ones too.
Tons of bad ones,
but
yeah.
plenty of really good ones also. I have yet to see a good live-action movie based on an animated movie.
Based on an animated movie. Yes. That was
I have
originally
yet
an
to see
animated
one
movie. Yeah.
that was
not,
good.
Not a single one of the Disney ones impressed me
No.
in any way. I haven't seen all of them, but did you hear that they canceled all of them now?
Really?
They're done with that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I believe it was some executive got fired or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Some weird stuff happened, and I think they've canceled for the
Well, I
time being.
don't think they've been very successful.
No,
I mean,
they
I know they're
haven't.
more successful than I think they should they deserve to be.
But they
even
really haven't been
regardless, but
successful. Yeah, I know Mulan didn't do well, and neither did Aladdin. So
And then like the Netflix live action adaptations of animated shows have also been
know.
terrible.
so hit and miss.
Yeah.
I'm sort of optimistic still for Avatar.
I'm hopeful, but not. My expectations are pretty low.
Yeah, I mean it's just
Because it
Avatar's
frankly
so
doesn't
good.
matter if they get the best cast ever,
Right.
if the writing isn't good, and if it isn't faithful to the source
it's
material.
the scope that they miss usually.
Yeah.
It's like they try to do the show, but you've missed the point of the show.
Yeah.
Like you've completely messed with the feel and the heart of the show and all this. They never get it right.
And they'll change so many things arbitrarily.
Yeah.
Because there's some stuff that doesn't translate well when going across formats.
Definitely.
And I totally understand
Definitely.
that. But my problem isn't with those things. My problem is when they just change other stuff for no reason. They have zero reason for why, other than that they didn't feel like doing it that way. Like, I don't care what you feel like.
Do it good. Yeah.
Yeah, you're taking this beloved property and you're
Yeah.
doing this. Like, treat it with the respect it deserves.
Yeah.
It's one
And-
thing when you're taking a really unpopular IP
True.
that nobody cares about, but it's pretty
But
rare that anybody
Avatar: The
bothers
Last
doing that.
Airbender is a kind of a big deal.
Yeah,
And people have this, some movie people especially, kind of have this idea that animated stuff is for children.
Yeah.
And low of value, basically, which is insane, first of all. But this one especially is so character and story driven that like they could mess it up really easily.
Yeah.
And so, I mean,
really could.
there's been statements from actors of the show and stuff who are like, yo, the scope of this is huge and this has been awesome.
yeah.
And I'm like, it's possible. Could be amazing, but I doubt it. Like, yeah, I don't know.
I mean, even if it's only okay, that would be better than what
Yeah.
I expect.
I hope
so.
it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I hope it's at least pretty good. I mean, the Cowboy Bebop show could not have been more of a failure. It was canceled like the week it came out,
Yeah.
which is bad. And I've seen clips and I'm like, oh, that's why. It's stupid. It is so dumb. And I mean, the Halo show.
Yeah.
So I haven't
watched it
even
at all.
seen it, but I feel like I've seen enough.
Oh yeah.
Gosh, I mean, and just the statement that the producer or whoever made, where they're like, "We didn't want to be limited to think this was a game,"
Yeah.
and I'm like, "You're an idiot." First
Yeah.
of all,
You don't understand what you're
Anything.
doing.
yeah, very sad. From the looks of it, they wanted to make it The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
They wanted to take a successful show and make a copy of it, like
As
every
usual.
other dumb producer tries to do.
Right.
But people always know it. It's like, this is clearly just The Mandalorian, but you slapped Halo on it.
Yeah.
Very stupid.
Yeah.
It's what I fear about Lord of the Rings
Oh yeah.
for Netflix.
No, I don't really-
Amazon. I mean, I think they're just going to try to make Game of Thrones, and it's going to be terrible.
I actually don't
and-
have any
yeah.
intention of watching it.
Yeah.
Frankly, just I can't see it being good.
Yeah.
So
Me and April
don't-
are going to
Yeah.
because we love Lord of the Rings so
I'm
much.
gonna if people whose opinions I trust watch it and like it.
Yeah.
I might watch it then. But
'Cause, hey,
until
it might
that
be great,
happens, I
but-
won't.
Doubtful.
Mm-hmm.
I doubt it will be good.
Yeah. And like, I don't even care about any of the casting stuff that they're doing. It's
Right.
not that. It's honestly, when I heard that they were even going to do it in the first place, I'm just like, why?
Yeah. Why?
There is already a live action adaptation of Lord of the Rings that is very good. That
This
tells
is
the story.
different, but yeah.
Like, I don't see if they had maybe been like, we're going to do a series about the Silmarillion and other parts of Middle Earth that didn't happen in Lord of the Rings, or maybe have a little bit of overlap with it. That would be cool. That'd be great. I'd be interested in that. But no, just doing Lord of the Rings again in a slightly different format with
This
different
is
casting.
before Lord of the Rings.
Oh, okay.
A little bit. It's more. I think it is before the events of Lord of the Rings. But I don't know exactly what that means.
Okay.
I think it's closer to like the Isildur times.
Okay.
But I don't even know if that's true.
No.
I really don't know much about it.
Okay.
Either way, I don't think it's going to be good.
Right.
So,
I mean, if you don't do something that's already established, you have more freedom, and you don't necessarily, and it's harder to mess up. But
I just fear it won't have the heart of Tolkien, and it won't have because I'm sure they're going to make it adult, which is wrong.
Yeah.
I think like such cursing, sexual things, whatever.
Yeah.
Which is just not in Tolkien books.
Right.
So they should keep it out of that. But I don't know. That's biased because I prefer wholesome things, but I don't know. I don't know. We'll see.
No.
Could you believe it? We filled another episode with content.
Well, there you go.
Look at us. Hey, look at us. Look at us.
Yeah.
Brian, any final thoughts? It's been an hour. Wow.
Wow. Time. The passage of time.
Time.
The ever-flowing river.
Time.
There's no time at all.
There's no time.
Anyway, thanks for listening.
There's no time. Thank you for
Hey,
listening.
Nikolai. Where,
Hey.
where can they get a hold of
You
us?
can go
Where can
follow
they
us
follow
on the
what we do?
Brothers Game podcast on Twitter
At
the Brothers G Pod. Can you
Yep.
believe it, bruv?
You can also check out our subreddit,
Check us a brolly,
Brothers Game Podcast. Please go ahead and download the episode when you can.
Yes, please.
On as
Actually,
many
we will.
devices and apps as you possibly can.
Go to all of them and download them on each one.
Yep.
Just to be cool.
Give us a rating if you want.
Yes, preferably a good one,
Yeah.
but that's up to you. This has been sponsored by no one.
By my bank account.
Yes. Yes. Amazing.
All right.
Wait.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Nope. Nope. That's it. I think that's it.
Okay, bye.